Hi, my name is Erin, and I am the Children's and Family Ministry Pastor here at the church. Today we are focusing on Matthew 6, verse 25 to 27. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? Have you ever been nervous or anxious about something in your life? Maybe you started a brand new job or had to present a giant project at work, something you've been planning for a really long time and the time has come to execute it. Or maybe you worry about flying on airplanes. That was me. I would get so anxious and worked up. In fact, I've been known to throw up in the past. I tell myself I'm fine, you're safe, it's not that big of a deal. Why are you panicking so much? The worry would set in days before I was even scheduled to leave. It would hinder me from my everyday duties. I'd find myself making lists and checking them twice because what if? What if I forget something? What if my kids cry on the airplane and everyone hates me? What if the plane goes down? What if? What if? What if? I have no reasonable explanation for this. I can't even tell you why this is the way I feel. Every flight I've ever taken, zero issues. But for some reason, I'd worry. If it ever came up in conversation, I'd get told, don't worry about it. Everything's gonna be fine. Pardon? Don't worry? You don't think I've tried that? The worry that I had was something that hadn't even happened yet, and it made it seem like it had. Eventually, I realized that my worry wasn't helping me prepare for the flight. It was robbing me of the days I had before the flight. In verse 26, Jesus said this, "Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them." There's something so beautifully simple about that. Look at how he provides and cares for the birds. Look at his provision. And then Jesus asks this question, are you not much more valuable than they? You are valuable to God, not because you have everything figured out or because you never worry. You are valuable because you are his. Jesus challenges us in verse 27 with this. Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? I had to ask myself, what does worrying actually accomplish? I felt like I was being productive. I worried for days before the flight. I made lists. I imagined every possible scenario. I tried to prepare myself for things that hadn't happened. But did all that worry make me safer? Did it make the flight smoother? Did it add anything to my life? The reality is we all worry at some point. I wish I could sit in front of you today and say I have zero anxiety around flying, because I do. In fact, I flew recently and I was so good until I heard those engines start up and my heart began to race. I had to actively choose in that moment my faith over fear. God, I trust you. You've never failed me, and I trust you in this moment. There's power in prayer and talking to God in those moments of fear, worry, and anxiousness. So I want to encourage you that if you find yourself heading towards all the what ifs, give it to God. If you find yourself spiraling and feeling like you're out of control, give it to God. Wherever you find yourself today, whatever situation you may be going through, health, finances, fear of the unknown, career changes, anything, God sees you, he hears you, and he is with you. Pray to him. God, I can't control this, but you can. You care for me, and I am valuable to you. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but you do, and I trust you because you are good and you are a faithful God.